until you become comfortable, right? Until you come up with a strategy that you believe in. Hop on the live. What you mean you can't? You came to pick up some game. Hop on the live. Let's vibe. But yeah, so it all depends. If you are super new, I wouldn't even say start with anything. I would say start with nothing. Invest in your education, right? Buy some books, go on YouTube, join live like these, ask questions. That's the best way to start. Don't start with money because trading is it's not a money thing. It's a knowledge thing. It's a discipline thing. So you can even have the money, you can have the knowledge, but without the right trading mindset, you ain't gonna do shit. To be honest with you, and and in this industry, we don't tell the truth about the odds, right? Everybody hypes trading. Everybody makes it seem like it's so simple. You know what I mean? But it's it's simple, yet it's difficult at the same time. It's simple because a caveman can do it, right? But so real trading, right? Real trading is simple because you're buying low, you're selling high, you're selling high, you're buying back low. So it's simple. Anybody can do it. You can explain it to a 6-year old, but it's what happens in between the buying and the selling. That is where the trading happens. That is where the challenge happens in between the buying and the selling, or the selling and the buying back. The decisions you make in between here, the buy and sell, that's where all the action takes place, right? So you need to focus more on your discipline, your psychology, and if your regular outside of trading psychology is fucked up, it's gonna reflect in the market. You are who you are, right? Who you are outside of trading is who you're gonna be while you're trading. You cannot be a disorganized person at work, disorganized person at home, right? And expect to be organized and disciplined in the market. It's not gonna work. You fooling yourself. So, however you are, why can I accept multiple?
Hey, friend.
What's up? How you doing?
Good. Oh, it's so nice to know you know how to respond to people.
I do. Why would you think I why would you think I wouldn't respond? I always respond. I'm a nice guy.
This your platform. I don't have nothing to say. I do agree with what you're saying, though. This tip about the who you are in life is how you show up in the market. I watched somebody make $2,000 today, and it was what they needed to pay their rent for the month. They were behind on their rent, and we had a very specific game plan on how he would be able to get the money from the market with what buying power he had. Made his rent and then went back in during power hour on Quad Witching Friday and is now has nothing in the account. And it was like when he called me to talk about it after, it was like, what, I don't really know what you want me to say. Cause all I got to say is that's your dumbass fault. Why would you do that? Like, why would you do that? If you already knew it was like a make or break moment for you, what
Right.
in the world would make you go back in after you hit at the casino, because that's really what it was. You went to the casino and you met somebody that know how to count cards. Tried to help you out. Now, I don't know. Have fun at the homeless shelter, I guess.
it happens all the time,
All the
but
time.
you can't see, you can teach people how to trade, you can explain the concept, but you can't teach people to be disciplined, right? So that part, they be asking, like I get asked all the time, how do I'm like, I don't know. I can't, I don't know you, right? So, the discipline, you will have to go get a therapist or something, because it's way deeper than that. Like you said, if you made your rent money and you are behind, all you should do is to be thankful, take the money, go, come back another day. But it's greed. They see the money and automatically it's like, oh, I could make more.
Hmm.
And then the market is always gonna show you that you ungrateful. Like, I gave you this, it's not enough. Okay, give it back. You know what I mean? So it it
I
it
limit
it happens.
myself. And that's why I love technology, because I'm the one that goes in, and once I hit my profit target for the week, I'm locked out of my accounts. Like, I would have to be a true crackhead to go log in to Fidelity, change the settings so that I could get into another trade. And I would hope that by the time I got to the settings in Fidelity, that something would click and be like, "Girl, go touch grass." Like, it's not that serious. I'm really really big on that though. Once
So
I
what do
reach
you
my
what do you what do you do? Do you give yourself a percentage target, or is it a dollar amount target,
a
or
dollar
what do you?
amount, yes, a dollar amount, and I just spread it across the market. So if I, let's just say it's 10K a week, I need three to come from my portfolio, three to come from options, three to come from futures. It's like split it up.
Interesting.
I took my 50% and was happy the whole day. You hear me? I like money.
Yeah, she was actually, so I was
Oh, she
day
pretty.
trade day trading today, and I think it was her first trade. So we did buy, but when the market opened, it was going down, right? I don't do puts. I don't like puts. It just, like, I know I catch it. I just don't like getting into it because psychologically I feel like I'm doing something I shouldn't do, right? I feel like I'm going against the grain. It's just a personal thing, right? So I will wait for the market to get to a point where I believe it will reverse, then I'll do my calls. So I'm very selective. If there's no calls set up, I'm not trading. Even if the market is put in all week, I will stay out because it's just not my thing. You know what I mean? So we waited until SPY actually hit our zone, and I was like, "This is where we get in." So she was able to get in, and I think it was her first trade, and it,
That's crazy because
it
I
was
look
good.
at it like the exact opposite. I love trading puts because it's like, as soon as I sell my put, so okay, first off, I only trade what I'm invested in, because it just doesn't make sense to me to go and spend money. Let's just say I did it on Microsoft. To me, it does not make sense for me to wake up, chart Microsoft, spend time on Microsoft, get into a trade. They're going to get paid off me trading them, and I don't even own them. Like, why would I pay a company that I don't own? So I don't, that's just already one layer to it. So then if I do own Apple and I see that Apple is dropping, I'm gonna get into puts. And as soon as I sell my puts, I'm gonna go buy equity in Apple with the profit. Like, that's how, let
So
your
you
right hand wipe
basic
the left.
you basically hedging what
Hmm.
you already have in your portfolio,
Hmm.
which makes sense. I really don't hold too many shares. I just trade.
Whoa.
Yeah, I don't. I actually don't hold. I don't. I sold everything. I'm Bitcoin, so I only trade. I use the stock market as a 9 to 5 to generate income, and
Christ,
we.
hold on. I gotta go take a shot. Just what a fucking minute. What the hell did you just say? I,
Who you talking?
I'm listening to you, but for my people that's on here, they already know I'm coming straight to this fridge. Where's the Resposado? I need to take a shot. This man said he doesn't hold equity. Whoa.
No, I don't, because it's
Whoa.
all. It's all. I'm gonna give you a reason to drink some more. I guess it's what? It's almost
Come on.
midnight. Yeah, we can go there.
Come
Um,
on.
yeah, it's so everything in the stock market is inflated. So how do I put it? It's it's real, but it's all inflated, and you only notice that it's real. Let me show you. Let me put you on game because your your facial expressions is funny.
I'm
But
just come on.
I'm
Did
a
y'all think I'm playing? But no, cause
no.
what
You
the
gon' you
hell?
gon' you gonna have to drink some more because a lot of people don't know this, right? And once you know, you would know. So even though Nvidia and Apple and all of these stocks seem to be doing well, they are all crackheads. Okay? So I'm gonna show you exactly why I'm saying that. So give me a second. Let me put everybody on game. Okay?
In the family chat and say that Alex is y'all just go say Coach A finna get on Black Robin Hood ass.
Now I'm about to no, I can't say that. Pause. But
Do your thing. Do your
hold on.
thing.
I'm about to show you. Because the thing is, I'll say 99.99999999999% don't know this. So your reaction is,
And we still don't know because you've been telling us that we don't know for 2 minutes. So can we know?
yeah, I'm about to show everybody what y'all don't know. But I have to set it up because ignorance is bliss, right? When you don't know something, you actually become. Oh, hold on.
It's giving Dame Dash.
No, it's not giving no goddamn Dame Dash. Dame Dash ain't got no sense.
It's giving Dame Dash, you guys. Oh
See,
shit, I forgot
I
I'm a model.
guarantee, I guarantee nobody knows this shit. But since you wanted to take a shot, let's go there. All right. So,
I'm comfy. I'm getting comfy. Okay, let's go.
so what we are looking at, right? Let me set up. All right. So what we got here? Tesla. Doop 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 doop. All right.
She been waiting all day for this highlight of her week. Nah, motherfucker. The highlight of my week was that I went 1,300% on Nvidia, and I was able to send my mom a few bands. That was the highlight of my week. Go ahead, Black Robin.
All right. So you see this?
Mm-hmm.
This is Tesla, right? So when you're looking at this is Tesla 6 months. Actually, let's go Tesla like 3 months. So when you're looking at the chart like this, regular stock market chart, right? Everybody will be like, oh, Tesla, Nvidia is going up. But here's the problem. It's only going up in dollars. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
the dollars is a shit coin. So anything that is priced in dollars naturally is going to go up because of inflation, because of debasement, because of the feds printing money. But you only learn the real truth, the real game, when you price in Bitcoin. So when you price in Bitcoin, this is Tesla. In 5 years, Tesla is down 73% in Bitcoin. I hope you guys are following, right?
Uh-huh.
73% in Bitcoin is down. 3 years is down. 1 year is down. Year to date is down. What does that tell you? The currency that you measure against, the dollar, is trash. So if you are measuring against something that is trash, naturally it's going to be inflated. When you measure in gold or you measure in Bitcoin, something that cannot be manipulated, that is when you truly start to understand the value, right? So if you look at Meta, 5 years on the stock chart, trading view, Meta is doing amazing, and that is what the regular person thinks. Because the regular person doesn't understand that in the last 5 years, the dollar has lost so much value. They've printed so many dollars. So everything is getting expensive, not because the value is going up, but because naturally you need more dollars to buy anything. So, of course, they're going to go up. So, the reason why I don't buy stocks and I put my money in Bitcoin is the only real asset that cannot be manipulated. And when you measure in Bitcoin, you realize that you're not doing shit with your stocks. And it's right here. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. So this means if you put your money in Nvidia or Tesla or even Berkshire, you would have lost money against Bitcoin. There's an opportunity cost. Whatever you do here is what you could have done here. So if I have $100,000 5 years ago and I put it in Tesla versus Bitcoin, I'm making money. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to look at the stock market. I don't have to do dividends. I don't have to have 10, 15 different shares because the only real money here is outperforming everything, right? And the only stock that we traded is the only stock that beat Bitcoin. As you can see, this is Robinhood. So in 3 years, Robinhood has outperformed Bitcoin 99%. In 1 year, 188%. If you look at it on the stock market, it's gonna say 500% this year, right? Because it's priced in dollars. If you look at it in Bitcoin, that's where you get the true value. So everything here, you're looking at Tesla, Meta, Berkshire, Apple, Amazon, Microsoft. Look at the numbers here. They are all trash. You see that? They are all trash. So this isn't something that is an opinion. This is math, right? It's not subjective. This is objective. These are the real numbers. The same way we measure things in dollars, you can measure this same thing in gold, and then you really see the value of things. Because if you measure anything in a currency, they just lowered interest rate. That means they're about to print more dollars. That means you're gonna need more dollars to buy anything. So the fact that you think You are making money. You're not really making money. It's all about purchasing power. You understand? So the regular person does not know this. So the regular person is still on the stock market wave. Oh, Nvidia, I got this. But when you start to understand money, that's when you realize that this game is outdated. And by the time a lot of people catch up to this, it will be 15 years later. So that's why I said regular people don't know this shit. They don't. Nobody measures anything in Bitcoin. Nobody measures anything in gold. We all measure in the currency that is being manipulated by the government. We all measure in this. Let me show you.
Wait, I have a question.
Go ahead.
Was this a conversation or a soliloquy? Let me know.
It's I'm teaching. Maybe you not getting it, but somebody is gonna get it
No, but
because
if
you.
it's a wait, because of this conversation, I have some questions.
No,
So
wait.
here, yeah. So
I'm not done. I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. I gotta make my point.
but I'm confused.
Of course you'll be confused because you don't know what's going on. So that's why give me time. So this is the national
Dame
debt,
Dash.
right? No, I'm way smarter and I'm actually teaching. And if you don't understand, that means you are slow. And that's what slow people do. So if you're gonna call me Dame Dash, then I'm gonna act like Dame Dash. Because I know something you don't know, right? See, it's making sense. But obviously you don't get it. So instead of you learning, you making faces like, ooh, ooh. That's what I basically showed you is deeper than anything you know. Since we want to go Dame Dash, this is the US national debt. Babies that are not born yet, okay, owe $109,000. That is the cost of almost one Bitcoin. Unborn babies, they will never catch up. This clock never stops, right? It goes on and on and on and on and on. Debt per taxpayer, 334,000. So this clock, so long as they keep borrowing money, so long as they keep printing money, so long as they keep lowering interest rate to debase the currency, this clock will forever go up. So long as this clock goes up, stocks will always go up. But it's not because the value of the stock is appreciated. It's because you need more dollars because they print in more dollars. The only way you find out if something is growing is if you measure it against something that cannot be manipulated. So the stock market is priced. Every stock is priced in dollars. It's priced in this same shit. This is the system that is controlling the stock market. So so long as this and this will never stop because the moment they stop borrowing money, everything collapses. Everything is fucked. You will realize that nobody got money because everybody is borrowing money to buy shit they can't afford. So you know what they're gonna do? Borrow more money. So the moment you're born, you in debt over here. So if you put your cash, you make money, you trade or whatever, you generate income, and you put it in Bitcoin, at some point you beat this. Your negative, you start life at minus 109,000. And you think, oh, because you're buying stocks, you catching up. You will never catch up because purchasing power of everything is decreasing by the second, every second. Meanwhile, when you look at Bitcoin, Bitcoin is the opposite of this. You can't make more. It is fixed. It has a very fixed timeline. Once 21 million Bitcoin has been mined, no more can be mined. So if you measure your value or your assets against something that cannot be manipulated, that is the only true measurement. If you're measuring it on a system that is constantly printing money as you are sleeping, right? As we are sleeping, we literally see it going. It doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. So when somebody is saying, hey, I don't do stocks, and you looking at me crazy, You the crazy one because you're still in the rat race. You haven't even figured out how the whole system is still fucked because everything is measured in a currency that has lost about 50% of its value just by just by time passing. As time passes, if you put your money in a basically in an index fund or in the stock market and you get 10% and inflation is 5%, basically you only got 5%. Meanwhile, Bitcoin is doing 70% annually. 70% annually. How many stocks are giving you 70% annually? The S&P 500 is doing 12, maybe 14% on average. So if I say I don't do any stocks and I only trade to buy Bitcoin, which math makes sense? Because this is not a matter of opinion or yeah because stocks. That is what you've been told to believe. But math is math. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. So if you pull up the let me show you so you can see it in real time. Because if we're not talking real time, then it doesn't matter. You can see stocks, you can see ETFs, you can see gold, and you can see it 10 years, 15 years, 5 years. And once you see it, the question is then why the fuck do I have to put my money in an inferior asset that is giving me a lower ROI just to do what? Just to say I got it? We are in this to make money. So you got to go where the most money is made. So give me a second. Let me show you because words is one thing, but numbers is numbers.
So now I have a question while you pulling that up.
Go ahead.
Okay. Um, couple things. One, totally, absolutely agree that cryptocurrency is the future. Absolutely agree on that. That's one. Two, absolutely understand cryptocurrency and the need for it. And the last time when we talked like solo, you really helped me understand like why decentralizing money is or the US dollar is even more important. Okay, boom. So let's all right, that's two. Third thing, I'm a jokester. It's okay to say, hey, come on this live, and then I'm gonna joke at 11 o'clock at night and talk about it. Love the gems though, and that's why I said, nah, I'm just coming on here for the gems. The conversation of it though, I absolutely agree. Now, am I still going to invest in stocks? Yes. And is anything wrong with that? No, because that's what I'm doing for my household. What you're doing for your household and what you're doing for this industry, right? And for all of us, by making sure that we understand how important cryptocurrency is moving forward and making sure that we are fully aware that this administration, the ones before it and the ones coming after it, don't give a fuck about the US dollar and that they are already putting their money into cryptocurrency. Absolutely appreciate that. Now, my intelligence. We just gotta remember I'm real smart. I just choose to show up how I want to show up. I don't think that however you want to show up in the stock market, as long as you show up in that way and you do it consistently and you not out here investing in goddamn Peloton, okay? And you not out here, and if you over there on the cryptocurrency side, if you not out there investing in goddamn what's the Trump coin or Doge coin and all that stuff, do it intelligently and make sure that you have all the information that you need. I just wanted to say that, and I'm enjoying the information that you sharing with us. All right, let's keep going.
Okay, so this is what I wanted to say about that. It's Bitcoin, not crypto.
I meant crypto as a whole, but all right.
Yeah, but I don't do crypto.
Oh, you don't like crypto as a whole?
Yeah, it's so crypto is also it's also shit. Okay, So crypto is part of the fiat system. So let me show you something. So it makes sense. Shut up, young thug. So let me show you something.
No, y'all, we're not gonna do that. I love Black Robin Hood. Like I truly love and respect him. I think that we need him in this lane. We two very bullheaded people. I'm gonna say what I want to say
Um,
while he show up and be who he gonna be because we need Black Robin Hood. We need somebody like him in this industry. So we ain't gonna do that. Y'all don't. We ain't. Now let me be the messy one. We ain't doing that. That earn your leisure shit. All right.
oh, okay. Damn, what was I gonna say? I lost my. Why did I even pull up this chart? What was I saying?
About how it.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. I wanted to draw something. All right, so it's like this, right? So this is Bitcoin. This is BTC, and this is fiat, right? Within fiat, we have everything else. So we have stocks and we have crypto. Crypto is not Bitcoin. And I think that's a huge mistake. A lot of people think this, that this is crypto and Bitcoin is here inside of crypto, right? This is what the regular person thinks, that crypto is the market and Bitcoin is part of it. But crypto is actually part of the system, the fiat system. Bitcoin is in a lane of its own because Bitcoin is money. Bitcoin is not how to make money. Bitcoin is not an investment. Bitcoin is not something you compare to stocks. Bitcoin is the foundation of money itself, what money is supposed to be. Bitcoin is a digital version of gold, but better, right? So when we are talking Bitcoin and crypto, most of the time we use it interchangeably. We mix it all together. Bitcoin, sometimes you say Bitcoin, but that is not the case. Bitcoin is coming for everything that that the lowest level of what money is supposed to be. So XRP, Ethereum, all these other shit coins, they may be compared to Amazon. They may be compared to one day Tesla, right? But Bitcoin is the protocol itself. So consider Bitcoin as electricity, having the opportunity to actually buy into electricity itself. Whereas Ethereum or XRP may be Exxon, it may be Duke Energy. It's a company, it's an electricity company, but Bitcoin is the electricity itself. So Bitcoin is like internet itself, and then you have internet companies that are using internet to make money. So if you put them all together, it's not even fair, right? It's not even fair. But a lot of people kind of
Yup.
put it together. Bitcoin, whatever. But let me show you the numbers real quick so we see. So sometimes they compare it, oh, Bitcoin ETF or stocks, but Bitcoin is not even coming for ETFs. It's not coming for stocks. It's not coming for other cryptos. It's coming for the entire base layer of money itself, right? And all the money in the world, we are talking about 900 trillion. Bitcoin is trying to capture everything so that it becomes money itself. So Ethereum is at $500 billion. Maybe one day it goes to 5 trillion. Whoop de doo. Not a big deal. Bitcoin is coming for a 400 trillion market, a 500 trillion market. So where we are today, you could possibly 100x 150x, 200x, if later on it becomes the the main accepted global currency. And we don't have that, right? So 1 second, I'm gonna show you the numbers so I'm not using my voice to like be loud, right? Because sometimes people are loud for nothing. Why isn't this shit loading? Um, Sometimes people are loud, but they don't have the facts to support their loudness. So I want you to see the actual numbers compared to everything else. And then anybody who is watching, you can make a decision. You can make a decision for yourself. Um, okay, so this
What
now the
site
one.
is this?
Um, Bit is Bitbo, but this one, this what we are looking at right here is Bitcoin's ROI every September 20th, right? So I be tracking this in real time. So this is the ROI every September 20th since 2010. Okay. So,
That's what's up.
so obviously as time goes on, the ROI is going to diminish to a degree. But right now, as we are speaking, the current 16-year average return is about 70% annually without doing anything, without trading, without risking anything, right? So hold on. I think I have it here. Okay. 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 So 60. Okay. So look, 13-year CAGR, the compound annual growth is 100%. 12 years, 75%. 11 years, 65%. 10 years, 84%. 9 years, 77%. 8 years, 51%. So when you strike the average of all of this, we are looking at about 70%. 70% annually. Annually. Okay. But I'm looking for the one that actually compares all the stocks. So give me a second. I mean, compares all the assets. Then
Okay,
you will
so
see.
while you're pulling that up, I got something to say really quick. Before I hop off. Um, the only reason, y'all, that I hopped on here is because I was asked to, and I
You
love
all right?
talking to people who have. Thank you for that, Black Robin Hood. I appreciate it. And I appreciate talking to people who have differing opinions than I am. I don't need to sit and talk to people who have the same opinion as I do. All right, bet. So that was my disclaimer, and then my professional disclaimer, and then I'll say this. Whatever works for you is what works for you. I'm not wrong because I'm able to do what it is that I do. He's not wrong because he's able to do whatever it is that he wants to do. And that's what I enjoy about the stock market. Now, I know when I came live with him that a lot of my family came in on this live with me. I see y'all's DMs and whatnot. I have always told y'all you need to be invested in. Let me make sure I say this right. You need to be invested in Bitcoin, which I am invested in Bitcoin, and you need to be invested in cryptocurrency. We see what's happening. Okay, so she gonna be housing melting ice cubes, and see, and that's the thing right there is And I want to say this, and Ram, let me say what I want to say, and I'm gonna hop off and let you do you on your live. Um, Not everything in this whole fucking world has to be polarizing. It truly doesn't. It's okay if you believe in your whole heart that Bitcoin is what you need to be invested in. It's not okay right? When we all get together and then we sit and we say that the other person is ignorant, this and that, even like this Don Harry person. I don't know. Have y'all not seen enough of what's been going on in the world these last few weeks? And then we just get on and we just be going head to head with each other. When this whole conversation really could have just been some, oh, okay, I'm over here and I enjoy doing Bitcoin, which is why I bought my family in on here. And then it's like, okay, I'm over here and I enjoy investing in the stock market, which is, and we could have just had that conversation right there. It doesn't always have to be a fucking argument. It doesn't always have to be, oh, I'm the best one in the room. None of us are, actually.
All
So,
right, but before you go, since I wanted to show you this, right? This is the main thing I wanted to show you. So
hey,
this is S&P 500, right? And this is Bitcoin, and this is from 2012. These are the returns, right? So over here, you see it. Bitcoin 2012, 183%, 14% here. 5,000%, 27% here. Minus 50, 29% for the stock market. 50%, 13. 132, 16. 1,163, 7%.
what
Then
happened in
Bitcoin
2017?
to what? Bitcoin.
Like, why you
There's
think it had that? And what happened in 2017? It had that big of a jump.
there's a pattern. There's a pattern. So it's it goes so every 4 years there'll be a minus. So you see 2014 Bitcoin
Yeah.
dropped minus 50%. 2018 it dropped minus 72%. 2022 it dropped minus 62%. 2026 is gonna drop.
Is
That's
that looking like some election years? Or am
no
I tripping? Oh, okay. No.
it no, it's not. But there's a pattern to it, right? So whenever Bitcoin drops, the stock market will outperform it that year. But if you look at minus the years where Bitcoin drops, it's shitting on the stock market by so much. 2019, 98%, 34, 278%, 73, 39. 2022 Bitcoin dropped 62%, stock market was down 13. And then 147 to 22, 135 to 33. So if you're looking at this, right, the average is, and I think it shows you here. So when I scroll down, you're going to see it. So last 5 years, right? Last year, Bitcoin did 69% return. S&P 500, 10%. Last 5 years, 60%, 16%. Last 10 years, 81%, 13%. You see what I'm saying? So, and this has been consistent because Bitcoin has a very predictable cycle. The stock market doesn't. So if you understand this cycle, you know when to buy. You know when to go crazy. You know when to put $1 million on Bitcoin, not this year, 2026. So for me, I stack my money instead of putting it in the S&P 500. I'm going to wait until 2014 because look at this. 2014, you put minus 50 here. To go from minus 50 to positive 50 is what? It's 100%, ain't it? So you go from here to here in 2015, then 132%, 101,163. You load up your money. The down year, you go crazy. Then up, 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 down. So there's a pattern to it. Down, up, 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 down, up, 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 down, up, up. 2025 is up. 2026 is going to be down. It can drop as low as 40, 50%, which means Bitcoin hits 150%, it can drop as low as 75, 80,000. And so if you know what you're doing, you wouldn't have the need to put your money in anything else. Because remember, anything else you put your money in has a counterparty risk. The CEO can do something, the company can go bankrupt, somebody can shoot the CEO, like what happened with UNH. Bitcoin is a protocol, is been programmed. So nobody can do anything to it. That is the difference. So if I'm putting my money into something that is not controlled by some account executives and some governments and you know whoever, right? I want to put my money into something that is not controlled by nobody.
Yeah,
Nvidia
you know that thing
CEO,
you told me the other day about the payment? I went on and did that.
smart. So and this, like, for me, when I'm making my decisions, it's not a matter of like maybe I just want to be so, because I'm a contrarian naturally, right? So I
No.
naturally move against the grain anyway. But this is something that is rooted in math.
Facts.
It's numbers. So if somebody says, well, and I even told Wall Street Trapper that, because he does the same thing. He saves in the VOO. So I sent him this same thing. I'm like, bro, do it if you want, don't do it. But I want you to, I told him, I was like, I know you a numbers guy. So I'm going to send you this, because why would I want to tell you that? Because I really want, I may come off my delivery as harsh, but the goal is like, I feel like you can do way better, because if you're using the VOO S&P 500 as a savings account, you get in on average 12%. With Bitcoin, you get in about 70%. So it would take putting your money in the S&P 500 or saving will take 4 years to make up for 1 year of Bitcoin. But see, if you don't really understand it or you haven't done the research, you're gonna go with what seems to be safe. But in reality, what is really safe is the asset that cannot be manipulated. The asset that is, decentralized. Everybody is watching it in real time at any given moment. Everybody is watching it. So nobody can say, oh, we're going to print more or we're going to do this. But everything else, they do stock splits. They do stock buybacks. They do this. The S&P 500, they add a company, then they take out a company. They just added Uplovin, then they added Robinhood, then they take a company, because they manipulating it for you to get certain results, right? Or outcome. Bitcoin is not manipulated. It's just going to do what it's doing because it's sound money. So for me, I want to store my energy in something that cannot be controlled by some CEO somewhere or a bunch of white men in a room somewhere who's going to say, oh, because of earnings, we're going to do this. Bitcoin has no earnings. Bitcoin doesn't care about anything, whether you believe it or not. It's going to do that because if if we go here, let me show you something real quick. And then if you go here, right, it is, this thing is math. This thing is the most amazing thing. And I know that in due time, everybody is going to be a Bitcoiner. As a matter of fact, everybody is a Bitcoiner. They just don't know yet. And when you haven't done the education, you think what you know is safe because that's all you know, right? When you know better, you do better. So I'm going to show
What
you
website
something.
is this?
There's a Bitcoin time calendar. So Bitcoin, right? It's a time chain, right? It's a time calendar. And I'm going to show you something that will blow a lot of people's minds, right? This is Bitcoin in 2010, right? The entire market cap. If you had $12,000, you could have owned, right? You could have owned Bitcoin. One Bitcoin was a penny. And I'm not showing you this to just give you information. I'm showing you this to show you that there's a math. It is programmed to, it will never stop, right? It will continue to go and go and go. And as we are watching it, watch this here. Every 10 minutes, one Bitcoin is mined. And when that Bitcoin is mined, it's going to be time stamped here for the whole world to see it in real time. It cannot be manipulated. We don't know what the feds are doing. We don't know how much gold is in Kentucky. We don't know anything. We believe whatever they tell us. Sometimes they lie, they fabricate numbers, they fabricate. Which company fabricated their earnings? Was it SMCI? I think it
Oh
was.
Lord.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay, so they can fabricate these things, and then later on, you're like, oh shit, we are sorry, we did this. You can't do that here because what is happening is transparent for everybody to see, right? So back here, every 10 minutes, you were rewarded with 50 Bitcoin per block. One Bitcoin was basically a penny, okay? And then as time goes on, you see it changing. Now Bitcoin is 7 cents, market cap 292K, right? Exactly. Like you said, we don't trust, we verify. So what the reason why I love Bitcoin is you don't have to trust me. See, everything else you have to trust. Nvidia, you have to trust whatever they're doing. We don't see their numbers. Every quarter they show us whatever, but we don't know. We don't have to wait with Bitcoin per quarter to see earnings. We see it in real time, any day, any minute. It doesn't close on the weekend, right? So as the stock market is closed right now, Bitcoin could be traded. If I want to send $1 million right now, I can send it and pay about $5 in fees. And the person is going to get the money right away, and nobody is going to know what's going on, right? And if they can't see what you're doing, they can't really tax you. And Bitcoin is digital property. So if you don't sell it, you don't have to pay taxes. And anybody who understands Bitcoin understands that you never, ever, 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 ever sell your Bitcoin because there will only be 21 million Bitcoin. Unlike
What page is
XRP,
that?
the the
Or
one
like
the one
what tab? No, I got the website, but what tab did you click on for that one?
that's the homepage. It takes you straight to this.
I feel like
Yeah, you have the same thing. You have the same thing. And then under here, there's a, so over here, if you take it all the way to the beginning, it will reset and it will show you the Genesis block. And the Genesis block, let me show you what is so dope about this shit, man. This shit is way dope. It's so dope that people don't really understand when it comes to Bitcoin. They think it's just some shit you just buy to make money. No, this shit is deeper than that. So when Satoshi Nakamoto programmed this, right? He knew what he was doing, so he actually inscribed something in the code. So if you look over here in the code, it says January 2009, Chancellor on brink of second bailout, right? So he took clues from over here, clues from this newspaper, right? A British newspaper. So people believe that he might be from Europe somewhere. But the reason was he was given clues to the fact that there was a global recession and everybody was getting bailed out by the big banks, and regular people were given a big middle finger. Fuck off, right? So when Bitcoin was launched, it was for the people to finally have a currency that cannot be manipulated, a currency that is not controlled by anybody but by everybody. right? And nobody can claim it because nobody knows where the hell it came from. So the first 50 Bitcoins is unusable. He programmed it like that so you can use it. And then since then, look, so in the first few years, you can see it here. You see the supply, 21 million supply. They had already mined 7%. That was 1.5 million Bitcoin. If I take it to where we are right now, let me show you where we are. We are here, right? We are at Bitcoin Epoch 5. 94% of all Bitcoins that will ever exist is in somebody's wallet right now. There's only about 5% Bitcoin left. So out of 21 million, there's only about 1 million Bitcoin left to be mined. Out of that 1 million Bitcoin, MicroStrategy is buying as much as they can. Fidelity is buying as much as they can. Trump is buying as much as they can. And if you ignore this and you chase anything else, you are hustling backwards. Because this is the only asset on planet Earth that has a fixed, finite amount that cannot be manipulated. Gold, we can find more gold, mine more gold, create more gold from wherever, right? Every other asset, you can make more. Houses, you can build more. Stocks, you can stock split. You can manipulate everything except this one thing that is a computer program code that cannot be touched, that has never been hacked, right? And also, fun fact, every 4 to 5 years, Bitcoin adds 1 zero to itself. So Bitcoin goes from $1, then it goes to $10. That is a 2-digit Bitcoin. Then it goes to $100, 3-digit Bitcoin. It goes to $1,000, 4-digit Bitcoin. It goes to $10,000, 5-figure Bitcoin. We are a 6-figure Bitcoin, $100,000 Bitcoin. We are going to a 7-figure Bitcoin in about 4 to 6 years. Bitcoin will be $1 million. Then it will go to $10 million. Then it will go to $100 million. It is programmed to do that. It will never stop. And so long as the debt clock is going up, Bitcoin will go up forever. And that debt clock can never be stopped, and Bitcoin will never be stopped either. So anybody who is listening, you got about 3 years left to buy as much Bitcoin as you can. Otherwise, you're done. Because if you can buy as much as you can right now at this price, the price, as you can see, I can scroll over here, right? It will show you the date. In 2017, which was what, 7 years ago, one Bitcoin was $2,000. $2,000, $2,200, right? Everything, every transaction, every move is on here, can be verified. Every money you sent to any address is on the blockchain, right? And as you can see over here, 2,200, right? Let's move forward. 2,200 in 2018, 6,300, right? In 2020, 6,800. During COVID, Bitcoin was $6,800. So basically, 5 years ago, this same asset, you didn't have to do anything. You didn't have to know how to trade. You didn't have to know technical analysis. You didn't have to understand balance sheets and earnings or whatever. If you made money and you bought Bitcoin, you outperform any asset on the stock market without doing anything, without being smart, without knowing anything, and with no risk, no questions. You could be as dumb as a brick, make your money, pocket in Bitcoin. That's it. Bitcoin is a savings account that happened to be better than the best investment asset. It is not made to be an investment. It's created to be a peer-to-peer currency, but it's made so well as a form of money that it happens to outperform any investment because that's what true money is supposed to do. So the market cap in 2020 April was $125 billion, right? And as you can see, it goes up, it comes down, we get to
A
57,000,
trillion.
right? And then it dropped. So from 20, and here's the thing, from 2021, Bitcoin was 57K. Let's go to 2022. And this is what happens if you understand the cycle. If you understand the cycle, you would have known that 2021 is a bull market year. The year was going to end right here. November, December, Bitcoin was going to be trading at an all-time high. Over here, a year later, let's go to a year later in like November-ish, right? You went from 69K to 16K. That was another opportunity for you because if you had $10,000, even if you had 10 grand, right? Or let's make it simple. You had 17 grand, all right? 17 grand. So that's 17 divided by 16,627. Okay. You'd have owned 1.02 Bitcoins times 115,000. That's $117,000 from a 17K. So you've basically gained 100K in 3 years and you didn't do nothing. And guess what? You could have bought more. You could have bought 2 grand, 3 grand, 10 grand, $50, $100, and it's working for you without having to do anything. You see what I'm saying? Having to do anything. And, 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 let me show you one last thing, right? Let me show you one last thing. That's what makes this thing so beautiful, right? It makes this thing so beautiful. Ray-Bans was really good. It makes this thing so beautiful because guess what? With Bitcoin, right? You can go here. This is the Genesis block.
What website
So
is this?
it's mempool.space. So
Manpool.
mempool, mempool.space, right? So if you send a transaction, this is the very Genesis block over here. So everything is documented. First block, second, third. So you can basically track it, right? And when you click, like over here, there wasn't much transactions, right? Because it was new. But let's say you go to 156,000 block, 156,000 block, right? It will take you right there. All the transactions that happen within this block can be verified, right? Every transaction can be verified. And the first 210,000 blocks, you were getting 50 Bitcoins per block mined. And then after 210, you will see once we get to 210, it's going to light up, right? This is where the halving happens, right? After the halving, the next year after the halving, Bitcoin goes parabolic. It goes crazy. So if you study Bitcoin, it is the easiest way to save money. Nobody is saying don't do anything else because Bitcoin is not an investment. It's a savings account. So you can trade, you can sell pussy, you can sell crack, you can do whatever you want to do to get money. Bitcoin is what you do with the money you get from whatever the fuck you do, right? So nobody cares what you do, whether it's a 9 to 5, whether it's hustling, whether it's trading. When you get the money, Bitcoin is what you store the money in. It's the final resting place for your money to go make more money babies for you. So if you get an income tax check and you don't know what to do with it, Bitcoin. If you trade and you make a lot of money, Bitcoin. If you sell real estate, make a lot of money, Bitcoin. If you sell your ass, make a lot of money, Bitcoin. Cocaine, Bitcoin. Everything you do, you pocket in Bitcoin as the final place, because if you put your money in dollars, inflation is eating it up.
Whew.
And when you click on any Bitcoin block, it will show you all the transactions, right? Every transaction could be verified. And the person or the miner or the mining pool that mines that Bitcoin block gains all the fees associated with that block. That is how miners make money,
That's what
right?
this
So
subsidy and fees is.
yep. So the subsidy is going to be whatever, how many Bitcoins you are getting, 50 Bitcoins or 25 Bitcoins. But if you get that block mine, you also get all the transactions. So, within that block, whoever sent Bitcoin to somebody, all the fees will go to that miner or that mining pool. That's how they make their money, right? So every 210 blocks. So once we go to two block 420, you will see it highlight again, right? And when it highlights, that is when it halves. So it goes from getting 50 Bitcoins per block mine to 25 Bitcoins per block mine. Then 4 years later, you go to 12.125 Bitcoins per block mine. Then 4 years later, it slashes. So it's going to get slash, slash, slash until there's no more Bitcoin left. So it's the complete opposite of what the Feds are doing, because the Feds are printing, printing, printing. Bitcoin is getting less, 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 less. So one is inflationary, the other one is deflationary.
Literally.
Okay, I think let me show you something. One last thing, and then because I mean the reason why I do this, right, is because I just want to spark. I just want to spark that curiosity. Then you go do the homework yourself. And the thing is, everybody starts out the same way. I started the same way. I've been trading since 2000 and something. I swore I knew it all. I knew about Bitcoin 2010,
Wait,
right?
Black Robin Hood. Sorry, keep it
You got to
public.
go.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. But check your text, and then I'm gonna call you tomorrow.
All right, all right.
All
Be
right, bye,
safe.
Wall Street. Always, Wall Street been black. I'm gonna go live 9 a.m. tomorrow. I'll see y'all.
All right, see you later. Okay, so check this out. So Bitcoin halving, right? Actually, so this needs to be updated. We are here, 2024, right? So we are getting 3.125 Bitcoin per block mined, right? But look at the schedule. It's gonna it's gonna go down, 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 down until 2140 the last Bitcoin will be mined, right? So realistically, to be honest with you, without bullshitting, right? You have until about 2028. That's all you got. That is all you got. By 2028, you have from here 3 years to accumulate as much as you can. Because afterwards, you're only going to get a very small fraction, right? Because we're going to get to the point where one Bitcoin will be, say, $1 million, right? And if you got to ask yourself, if you can buy, right? If you can't afford part of a Bitcoin today at this discount, what the fuck makes you think in a few years you're gonna be able to buy more? You see what I'm saying? We are here. You are here. So you are still super, super, super duper early. But if you don't learn, if you don't prioritize this, if you don't learn about money and you start chasing shit coins and shit stocks and real estate and don't put your money in the most solid, most sound money on the planet, you get to a point where in 2036, every Bitcoin mine will only get a block subsidy of 0.39 Bitcoin. But that same 0.39 Bitcoin may be worth so much. But by that time, you wouldn't be able to get any, right? So your opportunity lies within here, 25 and 28. Get as much as you can. If you can get to one, good. If you can get close to one, good. But make it your priority. So whatever hustling scheme you got, the end goal should be to own at least one Bitcoin. And if you get to one, then make it two. If you get to two, try to get to three. Right? If you get to three and you realize I can't do it no more, guess what? You have three Bitcoin. Bitcoin goes to $1 million, you have $3 million. And you don't have to chase the stupid stock market. You don't have to chase the manipulator real estate market. You don't have to chase anything else. Anybody got any questions? Whew. So this is how the halving cycle looks, right? So let me show you. Bitcoin halving cycle. This is how it looks. This is how it looks. I dropped the mic, but I guess I picked it back up. This is how it looks. 50 Bitcoins every 4 years to 25 Bitcoin to 12 Bitcoin to 6.25 Bitcoin to 3. This is where we are. So this shit is getting flatter and flatter and flatter. And every time it gets flat, it gets more expensive. So the people who buy it here are getting rewarded. Everybody who is buying it here is getting richer than the people who are coming in later. And there's a saying that you get Bitcoin at the price you deserve, but truly you buy Bitcoin at the price where you understand money. So if you are not prioritizing Bitcoin, it means you don't understand money. Because the moment you start to understand money, you will realize that this is the only true form of money that cannot be manipulated. So this is where your priority should be once you've done the education and you start to understand what money really is. So you can test somebody's financial education based on what they are doing. If you're not Bitcoining, what are you fucking doing? You feel me? Shit. I didn't think I was gonna make a whole I didn't think I was gonna make a whole lecture. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think I was gonna make a whole lecture, but you know what I'm saying? Sometimes when the streets call, you have to deliver. You know what I'm saying? You got to be prepared at all times to give people what they need. Right? This is the real information you need. Everything else is saturated. You know what I'm saying? Everything else is saturated. Everything else is manipulated. Everything else is like, huh. You know what I mean? All right, hold on. Any questions? Whew. It started off nice, but sometimes it be like that. It be like that. Okay, I'm sweating and shit. Any questions? Let me see. Whew. I was talking like I was getting paid. I was talking like I was getting paid to do this shit. Anyway, any questions? I'm sweating. You ain't see me sweating. But listen, the reason why I go so hard like that is I want people to get it, right? So for me, anybody that asks questions, anybody that really truly wants to know, I'm giving you all I got in as much time as I got because that may all you get. That may be all you get. Because other people don't care. I'm telling you, either they don't care or hold on. Either they don't care or they don't know, right? They either don't care or they don't know. And neither of them is acceptable. You know what I'm saying? What's the best platform? I think they listed it. Coinbase, Strike, yep. Cash App, Binance, um, River, Swan, you know. So no, you buy. So here's the thing, right? Let me give you some free game. So here's the thing. Ask yourself this. Asking should I buy now is literally the same as asking should I save now? So if you get paid at work, do you save? Do you wait for a particular time to save? Or do you save whenever you have extra money? Right? So I say this all the time, treat Bitcoin like a savings account. So whenever you have extra money, save it in Bitcoin. You hold it forever. You hold it forever. The reason why you hold it forever is it only has 21 million. That's it. So you don't want to trade your rare asset, something that you have, even if you have one out of 21 million distributed for the entire population of the world. So imagine getting one off something, right? So when you sell your Bitcoin, what you're essentially doing is you are trading your rare asset for an inferior asset. Because the question is, what are you selling it for? You're selling it for cash? If you're selling it for cash, you're hustling backwards. You see what I'm saying? You are supposed to sell it for something superior. But since there's nothing superior to Bitcoin, you never sell it. You can borrow against it, right? And because Bitcoin is growing at a 30%, 60%, or let's say 45% compound annual growth, even if you borrow against it at 10% and your Bitcoin is growing at 60%, you're still gaining a 50% net, right? Which is still way better than whatever you're gonna be getting from the stock market, right? So let me show you something. So if I go here, OD was really good. So if I go here, right, and I do NVIDIA, NVIDIA, excuse me, NVIDIA. Any question, feel free to ask. So if we go NVIDIA, right? Let's go NVIDIA. If we go NVIDIA and we go 1 year, so NVIDIA is up 49%. I don't know if you can see it. NVIDIA is up 49%, right? Type one if you can see this, because I don't take my word for it, right? Don't take my word for it. In Bitcoin, we say don't trust, verify. So everything that I'm saying, you should be able to verify for yourself. Don't take my word for it, because I could be lying and manipulating and capping just like everybody else. So whatever I tell you, you should go fact check it, right? So NVIDIA this year or 12 months, if you put your money in NVIDIA, you would have made 48%. Okay, so let's look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin, 1 year, you put your money in Bitcoin, 83%, right? 83%. Why do you think BlackRock and all these companies are starting to buy Bitcoin? Because they realizing that it's outperforming the stock market, right? If you look at the S&P 500, let's look at SPY, even though it's at its all-time high, right? So let's look at SPY, and let's look at SPY 1 year. SPY is up 16%, right? 16%, 1 6, 1 6. And this is supposed to be the benchmark. This is supposed to be the standard, right? This is supposed to be what all the hedge funds are trying to beat. If you are able to beat, if you are able to do more than 18% or 20% as a hedge fund, that means you beat the market. This is the standard. And do you see how much Bitcoin has shitted on the standard? The standard is 16% in a year. Bitcoin is up to 83%. And they didn't have to add Robinhood and add AppLovin and take this company out and do this and do that. You see what I'm saying? It's just a superior asset. And it's not even supposed to be that. It just happens to be crafted so well that not only is it a better form of money, it's also the best investment in the last 16 years. So you got to ask yourself, do you still continue to chase the peasant shit of the yesterday, or you want to chase or put your money in the real shit that cannot be controlled? It's really that simple. So I love it when people like what she did, it's like they look at you crazy, like, what are you talking about? Until I hit you with the facts, right? Facts are facts. So you might call me Dame Dash until I prove to you that I'm Jay-Z. I'm just as loud as Dame Dash, but I know what I'm talking about. And I can prove it, and it's numbers, right? Numbers don't give a fuck about your opinion or whether you believe in it. Numbers, it's like gravity. 1 + 1 is the same wherever you go. It's like gravity. It's like electricity. Electricity doesn't give a fuck whether you believe in it. But if you put your fingers in where you plug shit, you gonna find out whether it works or not, right? So you can climb a building and say gravity don't work and make faces, but you coming down, right? Because gravity doesn't give a shit about your beliefs. What works, works. Numbers is numbers. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. So if somebody is talking or somebody promises you something, or they say that, hey, this investment is doing blah, 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 ask them, is it outperforming Bitcoin? Is it outperforming Bitcoin? So somebody says, hey, I did 30% in the stock market. I'm the best guru. Bro, you can put your money in Bitcoin and do 80 something percent. And you did all of that by buying 20 stocks and trading this and trading that. And at the end of the year, your portfolio is up 32%. The person who didn't do none of that shit and put their money in Bitcoin is up 83%. Who's a better trader? Who's a better investor? Who spent less time? You see what I'm saying? Who knows? But here's a better question, right? It doesn't matter whether it hits 80 or it's at 100K. If Bitcoin is going to $1 million or $2 million, whether you buy it at 80K or 100K is insignificant. It doesn't matter, right? So you will realize that once you come to really understand Bitcoin, you will not pay attention to Bitcoin's price in dollars. You will only measure Bitcoin in Satoshis. You will measure Bitcoin in Bitcoin, right? Because one Bitcoin is one Bitcoin. The price of Bitcoin in dollars has no effect on what Bitcoin is. Every 10 minutes, one Bitcoin is going to be, one block is going to be mined, right? Approximately 9 minutes, 12 minutes, but at 10 minutes, it's an average. So one Bitcoin is one Bitcoin, one Satoshi is one Satoshi. It doesn't matter the price. So people who really understand Bitcoin only look at how many Bitcoins I have or how many Satoshis I've accumulated, regardless of the price. Nobody cares about the price because the price is only in dollars, right? It could be something else if you price it in a different currency. You know what I mean? Exactly. Odie, let them know. I was like, sell your grandma, sell your grandpa, sell your baby mama. Bitcoin was at 48K. So you basically more than 100%. And you didn't have to trade. You didn't have to learn options. You didn't have to deal with people. People be glorifying dividends and you get 4%, 5%. That ain't shit. You know what I mean? That ain't shit. But the regular person is gonna glorify that like it's something. Oh, REITs. Oh, my dividends. Man, you got 10 cents. Who cares? You know what I mean? Who cares? Any questions? And I've been going hard. I've been talking about this same shit since this joint was 1,000 below that, and people don't pay attention. You know when they really gonna start paying attention? When it hits $1 million. You know why? Psychologically, that is when they gonna feel like, oh wow, 100K. They still like, oh, it's a scam. It's not gonna go there. You only say it's not gonna go there when you don't understand money. That is why I said anybody who doesn't understand Bitcoin or anybody who chooses stocks over Bitcoin, it's a clear indication that your foundation in money is non-existent. And that is a lot of people. That used to be me too, right? But the more you learn, the more you realize that, oh shit. So long as I keep chasing the old system, I will forever rat race. Forever rat race. But you know, every information when it's new, it's a little threatening. Not a little threat, a lot threatening. Because if somebody comes to your house and they like, bro, everything you've been doing, fuck it. It's fucked. All your beliefs are fucked. Everything you've been doing is dumb. Do you know how much you're gonna fight that? You're gonna fight it naturally, right? Because if you are wrong, that means you might think you are dumb. I mean, and you might be a little dumb, right? But because you don't want to accept that, you're gonna fight that. You're gonna fight the new information. You're gonna mock it. You're gonna, you see how Shorty was laughing? Y'all keep it 100. I gotta say what I gotta say. You saw how initially she looked at me like, oh, you crazy. He said, don't buy stocks. Y'all seen that, right? Y'all seen that, or am I tripping? Did y'all see that, or am I tripping? Exactly. So that is the whole point. And I get it all the time. I get it all the time, right? And I'm the type of person. So sometimes, man, I done pulled up to meetings like this with people in suits, right? And they be thinking because everybody is regurgitating the same bullshit. So usually I already know what they're gonna say, and they look at you crazy until you pull up the numbers. And once you see the numbers, you gotta shut up, right? Once you see the numbers, you have to shut up because you can't fight with numbers. You can fight with my opinion. You can say, I don't like your delivery. You can say, you like Dame Dash. But once I put the numbers and you see for yourself and you measure it, what are you going to say? Because once you see it, no smart person will say, this asset that cannot be manipulated is giving me 83%, but I'm still going to choose the 15%. The moment you say that, you are a certified big buffoon, right? If somebody shows you, see, ignorance is bliss. When you don't know, you don't know. But when somebody opens your eyes to something and you decide to close it because you don't like the truth, you are a certified idiot. Whoever it is, take it how you want to take it. If it fits you, put the cap on. If you don't know, you can hide behind your ignorance. It's okay. We all do that. But once you know, once your eyes are open, once you are given the facts, once you are educated, and you continue to engage in the old naive shit you used to believe in, you deserve to be broke. You deserve to be dumb. See, you were dumb before, but you had an excuse. But now you know, and you choose to be like, yeah, I'm still gonna do this. Like, what the fuck? You see what I'm saying? So people need to understand the difference. Bitcoin is money. Bitcoin is money. Make the money. So there's nothing wrong with trading, but I'm not investing in anything else that cannot outperform Bitcoin. You see where we're going with it? There's nothing wrong with a 9 to 5, but I'm not 9 to 5 and getting paid and putting my money in real estate and getting 6% when I can get 60%. I'm not going to put it in Nvidia and get 50% when I can get 83%. You know what I mean? So yeah, I do actually on one of my old computers. You know, as a Bitcoiner, you have to run a node. So that's what I want people to get. Do what you got to do, but do not compare Bitcoin to, you can. That is in Bitcoin land, that is blasphemous. You cannot compare Bitcoin to any of these shit stocks or shit coins or shit assets or real estate or whatever the fuck else you've been doing, right? Shit. Anyway, I think I'm done, man. I came here. I don't know how long I've been here. Um, but I just told her to jump on, and she kind of was like, "And you know me, if you come at me, I'm with this shit. I walk around waiting for some. I think naturally I be looking to like. So the moment you give me an opportunity, let's go. You know what I'm saying? The moment you give me an opportunity, we go in there. Listen, I could be, I could be friends with you, right? I could be friends with you, but if you cross the line, you get in it, and it's not even personal. But I have to talk to you in a certain tone for you to understand. Because I'm like, if I'm like, key, he. Listen, I don't give a fuck how fine you are. I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't give a fuck how much money you got. I don't give a fuck how much money you don't got. I don't give a fuck if you're a crackhead. I don't give a fuck if you are Miss America, right? The moment you don't get it, I'm putting you in the same box. You feel what I'm saying? So if you're gonna come at me, you gotta come prepared. Otherwise, I might just embarrass you. You see what I'm saying? Don't come at me like I don't know what I'm talking about when I eat, breathe, sleep, eat this shit for lunch, break. Listen, and I be doing it. I'm not just doing it to sound smart because I want to like really help people. And I don't care if you never say thank you or whatever. I don't care. I just want to make sure that I give somebody the opportunity that I did not get. You see what I'm saying? Because I wish somebody cared enough to say, shut the fuck up and listen. You see what I'm saying? I wish sometimes you need somebody to say, man, shut the fuck up. You don't know what you're talking. Shut the fuck up and let me give you some game. Because some people think they know. So sometimes you got to say, man, shut up. Shut up. Just shut up. Right? Let them think you're being disrespectful. Let you call me Dame Dash, but I didn't put you on game. And no matter what you think, you're going to be like, damn. You know what I'm saying? Fuck the delivery. You don't like the delivery, but you're gonna take this pill. You see what I'm saying? No, Bill Cosby. I'm gonna give you this pill, whether you like it or not, whether you like me or not, whether you like the delivery or not. You're gonna take this orange fucking pill. That is the only pill that is legal for you to shove down somebody's throat and make them swallow the goddamn pill. So this is orange pill hour. This is orange pill hour. I don't do it to be nice because we've been talked to nicely. We've been talked to so proper. Fuck that. People didn't talk to us in a nice way, politically correct way, and they finessed us. They finessed us, and we ain't got no money. So right now we got to put all the politically correct shit aside and give you the raw. Give it to you raw, Diddy style. Pause. Right? Because you got to drag people. Yeah, you can be nice, man. You can. That's why for me, I don't give a fuck if you don't like me. Shit, I don't like you either. But you gonna swallow this goddamn pill. I don't give a fuck if you like me. What do I care? I don't fucking like you either. But you gonna take this pill. You gonna swallow this goddamn orange pill. Sometimes you got to. And you know, some people appreciate it. Because we've been finessed for so long. These people come here with their suit and their ties and they talk to you all nice. And you're like, oh, yeah, he's so nice. But did he make you money? Did he put you on game? Did he put you on game that is going to change your kid's life? So that's why for me, I'm going to be the opposite of all that. Because if the nice way isn't working, then we got to do it another way. So the other way is shut the fuck up. You don't know what the fuck you doing. This is what the fuck you need to do. This is the numbers. I'm going to shove it down your throat. Look at the numbers and go do something about it. This is real money. This is fake money. This is manipulated. This cannot be manipulated. This is doing 60, 70% annually. This is doing 10% annually. Choose matrix, red pill. This is actually orange pill, red pill, orange pill, blue pill. Which one you gonna take? Orange pill or the blue pill? Orange pill or the bullshit pill? Orange pill or the placebo pill? Which one are you taking? But now the knowledge will live in your head. And what you're supposed to do is say, man, This guy, he talk crazy like Dame Dash. The fuck is wrong with this guy? But let me go check it. You see what I'm saying? I'ma force you. I'ma yell until you go check it. You ain't even gotta give me shit. You ain't even gotta say shit to me ever again. I don't even have to know you. But you gonna take this pill. No Bill Cosby. You gonna take this pill. You gonna take this pill. And let me tell you something. If you have a guru, if you have a mentor, if you have anybody teaching you, claim to be teaching you financial literacy, and they are not directing you towards Bitcoin, they hurting you. They drawing you backwards. They don't know what the fuck they are doing. They still cut from the old cloth. They are not current. You know what I mean? They might know what worked in 1920, but we're in 2025. So if they are not prioritizing Bitcoin, fuck them. They don't know what they are doing. You're not going to know it now, but a few years later, you're going to look back and be like, the fuck? Why did you not teach me this? Why? Because they didn't know. They still over there. How the fuck are they going to know? It's like you asking your mom, why didn't you put me on stocks? She didn't know. How the fuck is she going to know? How the fuck your dad going to put you on stocks when he ain't never invested in the stock market? How the fuck your dad going to put you on real estate when he never owned a home? If you ask me, you might be sleeping in a Bitcoin because I'm on a Bitcoin standard. Everything goes to Bitcoin for me. You know what I mean? I'm on a Bitcoin. I'm an extremist. You know what I mean? So I might not be the right person for you to ask this question. I'm an extremist. But what I will say is do whatever you're comfortable with, and as your knowledge base expands, you're gonna do more naturally. It's a natural byproduct of your understanding. Well, Odie, you said that already. Yeah, the more you understand, I'm 100% big. Listen, the other day I looked at my account and I was negative in my account. My checking account was negative. I actually took a screenshot. It was negative because so much Bitcoin purchase came out of it, and it rendered my checking account negative. So I'm broke. I'm 100% dollar broke. So you can call me broke. 100% dollar broke. And I'm proud of it. Everybody should be proud of it. People don't even get it. Like, oh, you ain't got no. I sure don't. I ain't got no money. Dollar broke. My sats. That's a different story. You know what I'm saying? Dollars, I ain't got it. I can show you my checking account right now. You're gonna be like, bro, the fuck? You need some coins? I ain't got it. When it comes in, it's gone. Wherever it comes from, the destination is Bitcoin. No belts and ice cubes. I ain't got it. The fuck am I doing? I used to keep money. I put so many people on Acorns, right? I put so many people on Acorns, but shit, eventually I took all my bread from Acorns. Because the more I understood, I'm like, man, I've been investing for my kids since 2014. Now, what the fuck am I doing with this peasant stock market shit? Should have put that money over here. But see, 2015, I didn't understand Bitcoin like I do now. You know why? Because I didn't understand money. In order for you to really elevate in your Bitcoin knowledge, you have to go deep and understand why. Study the Federal Reserve, right? You know what I mean, man? I was buying cars and all sorts of shit. You know what I mean? So anyway, man, that's my time. It's 1:30. I'm surprised a lot of y'all are still here. I didn't know I was going that hard. I wasn't even expecting to go that hard. But you know, when she came at me like that, I need to do this more and ask people to challenge me because I like to be challenged, right? Man, listen, I was just blowing money doing dumb shit. But you know what I'm saying? But that's what I'm saying. When you know better, you got to do better. I think if someone is really serious, they'll make sure the bills and expenses are covered, then invest all there. Exactly. That's how it's supposed to be. And then once you understand it even better, you know what you're going to do? You're going to go and increase your income, right? Increase your income, keep your expenses low, and then have more money to save in Bitcoin. Because when you save in Bitcoin, it's buying you years that you never have to work again. So Bitcoin might shorten your your retirement by like 20 years. So instead of retiring at 65, you get to retire at 45. You know what I mean? Anyway, man, I appreciate y'all. Nah, y'all, it's 1:30. Are y'all crazy? 1:30. What are you? Go to bed. Go to bed. No, Kayleen, I know the way you are tuned in. See, you gotta be careful hanging around me, right? You gotta be really careful because if you listen to me long enough, I might convince you to get rich. If you listen to me constantly, I will force you to get rich. I will force you to do better. I will force you to learn. I will force you to grow. And I'm going to give it to you in a raw, uncut form, right? Raw, uncut, straight up, Diddy style, forced orange pill, no Bill Cosby. You going to take this shit. I tell people you got to be careful hanging around me because I will push you to your limit, to a limit that you don't even know you got, right? I will force you. If you don't want to change, don't show up on my live. You see how I came here and I ain't sell you shit? You see how I ain't talk about nothing? Because I really want people to get it. I really want people to get it. I don't want you to get it from me. I just want to direct you and say, hey, go here. Go read this book. Go watch this video. Go research this. And there's no way, I'm so confident in this that I know you can never come back and say, no, bro, nah, I'm going to stick with the dollars. It's impossible. Because once you pull back the layers, you realize that, oh shit, there's nothing there. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate, and that's my whole goal, man. You see why I don't show nothing. You see me with any watch, you see me with any chain, have my Bitcoin shirt. That's it. Because I want to focus on the game. Everybody else can show what they're eating and show their ass and show their food and their hotel and their cars. Nobody gives a shit. All of that shit is liabilities anyway. The real wealth is here. The shit that nobody can take away from you. So if somebody really cares about you, they're not gonna give you things. They're gonna give you the knowledge that can buy you whatever things you ever want. Right? If somebody really fucks with you, they're not gonna give you things. They're gonna give you the knowledge that could get anything. It is time chain calendar. Time chain calendar. Where's the best secure place to hold it? Oh, that's a different story. If I start that shit right now, I'm gonna be on here until like 2:30. Yeah, priced in Bitcoin is, the site where you can look at everything priced in Bitcoin, just like it says priced in Bitcoin. So instead of being priced in dollars, you price it in Bitcoin so you can see if it's actually growing or dying. And if it ain't growing, it's dying, right? So anyway, mempool, yeah. See, y'all were paying attention. I fuck with y'all. Maybe tomorrow I'll be back. I hope somebody will challenge me. I like to be challenged because when I'm challenged, I go 10 times harder. All right, y'all. Good night. Appreciate y'all.